We road trip through 6 states, driven over 6,000 miles. In this video, we're going to talk about camping, charging, in general, how the driving is in the bus, and one of the most important things, the cost. Let's see what the damage will be this time. Let's start with driving.
So what's it actually like driving the ID.Buzz? So we've driven over 6,000 miles so far, and we really love driving in the ID.Buzz. I think it's really one of the most perfect road trip cars because of how comfortable it is. Like, just as two people, we have so much space. And the nice thing about the ID.Buzz that makes it perfect for road trips, in our opinion, is that it has a lot of self-driving features.
It has like lane assist, it has speed assist, so it controls how fast the car drives. And then of course the travel assist is just like a combination of all the assistance systems. So basically when you're on the highway, you just tap on set and then it drives itself most of the time, until you have to like make a turn, or it even brakes. So even when you're on a highway and there's like cars are getting slower and traffic is building up, the car just gets slower.
And because it's an EV, and I don't know if you've driven an EV before, the acceleration is crazy. EVs just go from like 0 to however fast you're going, 0 to 60 in a couple of seconds.
Yep.
So it's kind of fun. You get like a little bit of
Like a pushback.
but of course we don't drive like that a lot,
Yeah.
because it's only when we want to like really show someone, just
Yeah.
because you never really also have those moments where it's just like stop and go, but it's still really fun. That's a fun part about EVs that we like. Yeah, all in all, we love driving the bus. It's smooth, it's comfortable, it's convenient and super easy to drive because it pretty much drives itself. And in our last video, we talked about doing 540 miles in one day in the ID.Buzz from Salt Lake to Reno, Nevada. And that was awesome. And we had to charge a couple of times. So now let's jump over to our next topic, which is charging and what we think about charging the ID.Buzz.
So how often do we have to charge on the road or when we're somewhere stationed? And how do we plan on charging? When you're on the road, you just type in your destination in the navigation system, and then the navigation system is literally calculating the whole trip for you, like how many miles it is, and it tells you exactly at what charging stations you have to stop to be able to reach your destination. So it is really convenient to drive with the bus on longer road trips and not think about charging at all. Even let's say the climate changes or you drive a little bit faster, the navigation system is according to all the factors. It calculates the distance and renews like a charging stop and tells you maybe you drove too fast, you should charge one more time at this location, and it just like calculates everything by itself. So we never really think about charging at all when we're on a road trip, on a longer trip. At home we have like with Taylor's parents, we have like they have solar panels, and they have like, so we can charge via like sun, so we don't have to worry about.
Quick note, we are digital nomads, so we don't have a home base. Technically the bus is just our home base.
Yep.
So we stay either at Airbnbs, campsites, sleep in the bus, or we stay with my parents and family. So we jump around a lot of places, and some places we can charge for free with solar and other things, which is really nice.
Yeah. So like right now, we're in
this whole month we get to charge for free
because there's a sun. Really nice. But
which
let's
is
say
the best.
when we're not here, or when we have to book a place for ourselves over Airbnb and like campsites, you can filter for charging capabilities, where usually they have like level 2, like normal slow chargers like you have at home, and then we can just charge for free most of the time. For example, we stayed one time in Ogden, where the Airbnb they said they have charging, and it was like not on the property, but next to the property they had another property, and they were like, yeah, you can just charge there for free. So that was really nice. And then for a week we didn't have to pay at like Electrify America or like another charging station. We just could charge always at home overnight, which is great.
Well, and the level 2 chargers are way cheaper than the level 3, so we try our best always to charge at level 2 when we can charge overnight and we're staying somewhere for a long time.
Yeah, but one time I remember, like a month ago now, we were in LA where we stayed one night at an Airbnb, and we filtered the selections for chargers at the Airbnb, but we didn't read the description correctly, so they told us that we have to pay another $15 if we charge overnight. We didn't know that. We just planned on, yeah, okay, we can charge there, which is like, I don't know what we think about that. I don't know
if you're already paying for the place, then you should be able to charge. Well, because charging is also not expensive.
Yeah,
especially in California, they usually have like special EV charging rates. And we know them from like my parents, so they're pretty cheap. And I think like the number one concern people have about EVs and EV road trips especially is like charging and length of charging, because of course charging takes longer than filling up your car with gas. That's, you know, a given, of course, but we honestly have not found it bad. We actually really do love the intentional breaks that we get when we do charge, and we always end up having to go to the bathroom or get food anyway, so it just works out perfectly. So like the level 3 chargers, at least on the Buzz and most EVs, charge from like 0 to 80 in like probably 20 minutes, like or 10 to 80, 10 to 80, I mean. Yeah. They charge from 10 to 80 and maybe like 25 minutes. Yeah, 25 minutes. And honestly, we go into the store, get our food, go to the bathroom, come back, and it's already done. So it's really like, I don't know, for the benefits of an EV, for the environment, waiting 25 minutes instead of 5 minutes to charge and fill up your power is not that bad, in our opinion. That's why we went with EV.
That's what we experienced.
Yeah, that's our opinion. And you know, if you love your gas car and you want everything to go quickly, you know, that's how you like it. Yeah. And we like our Buzz.
Yeah, I think like one thing is just the patience factor, and if you're used, like if you're the type of person who has no problems with driving 10 hours straight and just having like a 2-minute break, refilling up your car, and just continue driving, then maybe EVs is not yet for you, you know. Like soon there will be like EVs where you can drive like 1,000 miles, and that's something else. But for now, probably that's not for you. For me personally, like I didn't grow up like in Germany or in Berlin. I only use public transportation or use my bike. So I like, for me, it's not possible to drive more than 3 hours straight. I will have to take a break, at least walk a little bit, eat something, have to go to the bathroom. I like, for me, I can't do it. I just need that slower pace for me. But yeah, everyone is, you know, is different. So another interesting thing is like if stations are maybe broken, because that's a topic many people are interested about, like, or the chargers are not working, or there is like if there too many people. And from our experience, what we saw, we only had to wait 2 or 3 times, and there was maybe like 1 or 2 people in front of us, and we didn't have to wait like another like half an hour or something. We just waited for 5 or 10 minutes, and then it was our turn, and then we had to charge for like 20 minutes or 25 minutes depending on our charging situation. But it's like it's not making your situation and everything so much longer. It's just like you have to wait a couple minutes for the next person to stop, to finish charging, and then it's your turn. We only experienced once at a charging station that 2 out of 4 chargers were only working. So 2 chargers were broken, and 2 others were working, so we had to wait for others to finish. But I don't know, that was only once, and we charged I think 35 times, or more than 35 times so far. So at like fast chargers, so that was like once. So we're not like, it's not a big deal for us. No. Deal breaker. It's not a big deal breaker for us.
Yeah, so really charging's not a problem. You just take it slow, more intentional stops, and the infrastructure in the US is now so built out that there's no problem with charging. We'll show you a couple maps here of all the charging stops, even in surprising places, which we had no idea until we got an EV. But yeah, now that we talked about charging, let's go to the next exciting topic, which is camping and how we camp in the Buzz, because in our opinion, the Buzz is probably the only or the most comfortable, let's say, EV that you can camp in. So how do we camp in the ID.Buzz?
This car is made for camping.
It's hot.
Ja, sollen wir kurz Pause machen?
Yeah, we're dying. Oh, it's hot.
We can leave some air in and then we can continue. The car is so hot because we're like right in the sun next to Here you see Golden Gate Bridge. It's the middle of the day. It's like
And the
like,
skylight brings in so much either heat or
Yeah,
cold, but
that's
that's
one
okay.
thing. Yeah. So let's leave in
Air it
some
out.
fresh air, and then we can continue.
With camping. All right, so we do not have a built out setup for our Buzz. We decided not to do a build out just because this is not our forever car. But we made our whole setup actually really nice that we can just convert it to a perfect setup that we can camp in the car. We made a video about it. You can see it also here too. One of these, one way or the other. And
I say this way.
Okay, this way. And you can look to see our exact setup, but I'll just do a general overview. So we lay all the seats flat. We have a really awesome car mattress that makes it so even the gaps are, you don't feel the gaps, like the mattress doesn't sink in the gaps, which is really nice. So we don't have to have that extra stuff to fill in the gaps. We have two awesome storage bins that we put in front, right behind the front row seats, and they fit perfectly even when we have the middle row closed like we do right now. Our storage bins fit and we just have all our stuff in there. And then we'll even put some stuff in the gaps when we sleep at night. And we have Sun Buddy blackout shades for all of our windows that we use. I don't know how much we'll use them now in summer. We'll have to just see. One thing that we didn't think about, and that was on us, is I think we went into winter climate first and we didn't have enough like warm things. We had like one blanket, and without like the climate, having the heat on, which we'll talk about right after this, it definitely was cold. And that was on us. We should have gotten something warmer. But one thing we did pick up was a cooler. So we found that like, because we wanted to start like really car camping and camping at places far away from grocery stores, we got a Yeti cooler, which has been really nice and super helpful because then we can put all of our perishable items in our cooler and have it. And yeah, Volkswagen, please put a camping mode in the Buzz, because without it, it makes it so much more difficult.
Yeah, bitte, please, Volkswagen. Bitte, bitte.
Volkswagen, mach das!
Mach das! It is literally a software update.
Yeah.
And then like a tap on the screen. You can just like tap camp mode. And then it will like just really lightly cool down or heat down the Buzz for the whole night.
And that's like our biggest criticism on the Buzz, for sure. That's the one thing.
This car is made for literally it is made for camping.
We're in the third row and there's like,
it's like so much space. It is made for camping, but there is no like specific mode for camping, and it is really frustrating. But because we're not giving up, because there is not a camp mode feature on the Buzz, we found another way. We found a rock on the campground and put it on the driver's seat. We had, of course, we like put like a blanket in between to not damage the seat, but we put the rock on the driver's seat, so the car thought that there's someone sitting the whole time and didn't turn off. But there is like one thing what we didn't know: if you charge your car at the same time, and let's say you're on a campsite where there's like RV charging, and you can plug in your car at the at RV site camp chargers without a problem. When you plug in the car and there's a rock on the driver's seat, the car is still, or like the HVAC is still turning off after 30 minutes. If you don't plug in the car, if it's not plugged in, and there is a rock on the driver's seat, the HVAC just stays on the whole night, and you don't have a problem with heating or cooling.
Yeah, I assume that's like to preserve energy while charging or something.
It just doesn't make any sense, because it is like, again, like just a small software update.
Yeah.
Because like when you have the heating and cooling on, and that's what we did. We didn't charge the night.
Yeah.
We only had the heating and cooling on, but it drains the battery so much, and
like
went like below
16.
freezing. No, it went like below freezing overnight, and we had it on the whole night, the heating. And it like drained the battery by 18%, I think. 18%.
And of course, it's also because it was freezing out.
Yep.
And that's another thing to note about the Buzz, and it's, you should plan, unless you are not like us and bring a very good sleeping bag that's below 0 grade, which we did not have. And that was also on us, because we didn't expect it to be as cold as it was in places like Idaho. But without camping mode, it's just a little bit inconvenient for sure.
Someone commented below our last videos, one of our last videos, you can just bring a heated blanket for when it's cold outside, and then you can have like an external battery where you just plug in your blanket, and then you have a heated blanket, which is great. Or you can have like a fan when it's too hot, and then you can just kind of put the fan somewhere and then just plug it in your external battery.
Summer's coming. If you already have a fan for your ID.Buzz or any other EV that you use, and you have a recommendation, let us know, because we'll probably look into getting one, because we're going to be doing a lot of summer camping and we need to keep the Buzz cool. So
comment down below some nice fans.
Yeah. Or what's your solution for...
Or if you have a better solution, maybe there's a cooling blanket.
I don't know.
That would be
I just
cool.
saw one for dogs. You can get like a cooling dog bed.
That's cool. Okay, so we talked about driving, charging, and camping, and now the most interesting topic, probably most interesting for everyone, is the cost. How much did we spend on driving the ID.Buzz for the last 6,600 miles? And this is a really easy calculation, but we didn't calculate it before. So I'm just gonna put it right here, like big in front of you, like this.
This is our charging cost.
This is how much we spent on charging on the road. Most of the time we charge at home or at the Airbnb or something where it's for free, or at the campsite where it's for free. So
or included in the cost.
or it's included. Most of the time where we have to pay actually is at the DC chargers, so the level 3 chargers, and those we only use Electrify America most of the time. And yeah, that's the price here.
Okay, so we have had a couple bumps in the road so far with our Buzz. Actually, on the first day we got it, not even 24 hours we got it. It broke down and we didn't have it for 2 weeks as they were repairing it. If you want to watch the video, you can here. But luckily that was all covered by warranty, which it should have been, and it was. So we didn't have to pay anything for that. We also had a cracked passenger or driver's seat window. We don't know how we got that chip, probably from the freeway or something, who knows. But we were in Oregon one night and it was, I think, like 24, 25 degrees Fahrenheit, which is in the negatives in Celsius. And we woke up and there was a huge crack then in the window. So we, on the driver's side. So we got that repaired in Seattle when we were there. So on the road, we had to call ahead, plan everything to make sure that the window was there in time for us to get it repaired, which we did, which we were thankful for because it kept on getting bigger every day. I think in total it was like $800, but of course we have insurance for our Buzz, and the deductible on that I think was around $250 that we had to pay. So, and then we also got a rock chip on the windshield. That sucks. That happens also too because the Buzz windshield is just huge, and I think it might have been a metal piece from someone's winter tire because we were just at the end of winter there in the Pacific Northwest. And yeah, so the chip is still there, but we got it repaired. Like we went to a glass in Ogden, and someone put resin in so it doesn't grow, and I think that was $50.
So we paid $50 so the little crack in the windshield doesn't spread. And we will later somehow at the end we will get the windshield replaced whenever. We like, it's not a big deal now. We will just live with the windshield like that, and it doesn't bother us a lot.
So repairs so far have been in total $300.
$300.
Our last and final question: would we still choose the Buzz knowing what we know now? And I think, of course, yes. Honestly, I couldn't have dreamed of a better first car because one, it's yellow, which is my favorite color. Two, it's EV, which is really important to us for sustainability. And also, it's just a crazy cool and cute car. And we can camp in it. And we've been wanting to do this kind of van life camping out in nature
for a while
now. And fun fact about us, which we'll talk about in our next video too, is we've actually been digital nomads and have been traveling full time for almost 4 years now. 4 years now.
Crazy,
so we'll do a little backstory.
Longer than 4 years.
No, 4 years. 4 years. So we'll do a little backstory in the next video about why at 26 did we buy an ID.Buzz and how, and the whole story is how we got to this crazy lifestyle that we live today.
And if you have any questions about how we do it and why we started doing it, and just about like digital nomad life and how it is, write it down in the comments, and maybe we can answer those in the next video.
Yeah, so we'll get to that in the next video.
Yeah,
but yes,
that's it. So guys, thanks for watching. If you watched until now,
you're awesome.
Thanks for watching until now. You're the best. We love you, and we thank you so much. You know, now you can do one more thing. You can hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet,
subscribe.
Hit that subscribe
because
button.
we're like just at the start of our road trip. We are getting into plans more and more, and we're gonna have a really exciting summer and fall and spring and winter and blah blah blah.
It's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning.
And another thing, thanks again for 1,000 subscribers. We hit that after the last video, and that was like a really big milestone for us. It was just like, it's like that first 1,000 was always fun. So thank you for that. And thank you for watching. See you next time.
See you next time. Peace.